Previously on Bite Size and Baby Steps.
And then I don't like the whole body thing. You know, I go, well, if I was a stone lighter, I probably would feel more confident about walking into this audition.
Yeah, I mean, I have friends who live in LA, and LA is just like everybody's walking around with a script in their bag and waiting to, go to the, they're waiting to finish their shift at Starbucks to go to the next audition, and everybody's, keeping themselves in check. And I think going back to what Lou said about, about it being a thing that's up here, some of the most successful bodybuilders, they are actually under, a lot of them are under 5'9". Because of the fact that they have body dysmorphia, then what they see in the mirror is not what they see in real life. They're actually a hell of a lot bigger than what they're seeing. And it's like, oh, my bicep isn't as defined as it could be. But when we look at them, we see these oaks of just like, wow, look at that guy. I mean, or some cases, oh, good, but whatever your thing is.
Yeah.
And yet they are dealing with some stuff up here. There was one guy, Greg Valentino, was so caught up in his own head that he was using all kinds of anabolics, and he actually made his bicep explode because it just got so big. It goes to the point of extreme, how far are people willing to push? And one of the things is, that's not what we are. That's the reason why incremental works, yes. Extremes, you either are an uncommon person amongst uncommon people.
I wanted to go back to, in terms of you and I and our profession, I don't know if you feel the same when you watch those ladies in leading roles. They're all like that. To get the work, you need to be a certain size. I'm a certain size. I'm very voluptuous, and so I always get done for the motherly grandma roles.
And very well.
Gonna do the sexy lead, although I should be able to do so as a fuller size woman. But that in itself can knock your confidence, because you kind of think, well, your headshot. When you take your publicity, your headshot's only from to there to your shoulders. They can't see what's they can't see what's going on beyond there. No. So you might get an audition based just on head and shoulders.
Yeah.
And when you walk in the room and there's a lot more of you, you don't get that. You don't get that job. Sometimes I come away, self-loathing, because you want to feel comfortable in your body and confident.
Yes.
And the amount of pressure. Because one of the questions I was going to ask you was that being in the public eye, I mean, I haven't read the book, but I can just imagine
you're going to get one
on this subject, but also being in the public eye. And we asked Colin the same thing. Do you feel that pressure to look a certain way?
Yes. I mean, ever since, even before I did stand up, even when I was at school, I'd be sort of doing a dawdle on my exercise book to have the perfect calf, the leg, the turn of the calf. I always wanted to be something I wasn't. So that's the way my mind is. And I appreciate beauty, so-called, in other people. It's like puppies are attractive, aren't they? I mean, I like beautiful things, but because I was a fat child or a large child, I suppose that influenced how I compare myself with others. And once that's in you, it's in you, isn't it?
So were you a fat child? As I was, what I would have probably may have been chubby, but everybody in my family, they're fattists, so everybody always told me that I was fat.
Yes.
Had a big bum, or I had a big this. So that's why I started eating a lot. So do you think, one of the other questions we're going to get to was, what was your family's relationship with food and that? Because our family, Caribbean family, they want you to eat, but they don't want you to get fat. And they're also, and also they're not subtle in telling you.
Very blunt.
So are they, okay, question back to you. So there's a lot of food there, And then is there a judgment on top of that that you are large, or do they not see it as a problem? Or
Well, put it this way, I've got an aunt. It's now got to the stage where I've got one of my darling aunts, and when she comes over for dinner, there's been several occasions where my sister's cooked food, and I've gone up for seconds, and she's told her not to give me seconds.
oh wow.
Oh,
Don't do that,
wow.
don't do that. Yeah.
So is there meaning that they don't want you to eat more? Or
No, because
right.
I'm fat enough.
So that's hard. That's hard to be disapproved of.
Yeah.
To feel disapproved of in a social situation and judged is quite difficult.
Oh.
I had asthma, so I had
Steroids.
injections.
Me too. Yeah.
Max was saying earlier about sort of the list of things are like the genetic thing. Like my mum was big, you know, she had a trunk, shall we say, in middle age, and some women get a trunk, you know, with them after the menopause or even before. But my dad wasn't, and my sister is tall and normal looking, shall we say? You know,
Don't say normal.
How do we define normal?
yeah,
I hate that.
Normal what?
question. And large, like I am, and my mum was short enough. So what I have to accept, perhaps, is what you were saying earlier, is that, you know, there's a genetic disposition that I've inherited that I'm never going to be tall and slim.
Mhm.
So that's not my thing. But I did manage through diet pills and various other things. I was at size 10 only for probably like a day. And you know, I did all sorts of stuff. Oh my God. But
How
did
long
it
ago
make me
was
happy?
that?
No.
Sorry, can I just ask, like, how long ago that was that you tried out like diet pills?
That was probably my early 30s when I started
When they had the
on
good
TV.
stuff in it.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's the amphetamines. They were
Yeah,
great.
the ephedrine. Yeah, absolutely.
Tenuate DOSPAN was I was at an audition, and this teeny tiny woman was slumped on the ground, and I thought, you look great. And I said,
She's methed out.
yeah, what's the secret? And anyway, she told me the name of these pills. Of course, they're banned now.
Yeah.
And off I went to my doctor in Finsbury Park and got like a prescription, because in those days you just could. And it was a glorious time to go, oh, I'm fixed now. So I talked a lot, more than even now, which you can, and got really busy in my head, and just never ate. And if people say to meet for lunch, you go, why? Why on earth would you want to meet for lunch and eat? But so you can't stay like that, because obviously the heart, there's a lot of pressure on the heart. So
yeah, definitely.
When you reached what you perceived was the ideal weight, I mean, how did you feel?
well, I do remember some pinstripe jeans, Luella.
Oh yeah, I remember pinstripe jeans.
Yes, and I do remember being quite excited about them, but I don't think I wasn't particularly happy. And then other people thought I was kind of odd. You know, other people would react because obviously I wasn't being as friendly. You know, I'm quite a friendly person, really. I think you testify that is true. I like being nice to people. I like people. I genuinely like people. So when you're kind of getting another kind of personality on top, you know, because you're being a little bit, you know, just a little bit like that. You just go, excuse me.
Really intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this isn't, I can't sustain this. This is like, this isn't right. I'm not connected with people. But as you were saying earlier, then putting the weight on just slaps on and then some, doesn't it? So so I've done yo-yo dieting and all those things. So I do write about that. I do try and be funny about it, but I know that, and also it's not a solution, but so self-acceptance, I guess, is easier when you're this age, when you're middle-aged, because you know that you're not really going to become a different person. You're more of a realist.
Really, I'm still hoping. I am still hoping. Yes.
Yes. But that's good.
And I can change my lifestyle, which will change me.
But I love that in you, and I love that energy, and it's really appealing, and for us all. And I like your message, because I think, you know, that 20-minute walk is possible, and the fact that I wouldn't be alone because you guys are doing it, and I'm not just echoing what you're teaching. I mean, it does feel quite comfortable, as opposed to the extremities that I've gone through.
That's what it is. It's about the comfort. You know, we talk about comfort eating, but no one's really talking about comfort exercising. And I think that we might have hit a little bit of a niche on this thing here, because there was this thing that you used to be able to get. I'm not going to name it. All I'm going to say is it stuck to your body and you switched it on and it made your body contract.
Does that work? I've got one of those.
Oh
yes, it does. It actually does.
And they do that and do all your muscles.
Yeah. It actually does work. It does work, because essentially what you're doing is you're putting electric shocks into the muscle tissue. The muscles contract, which is essentially what you're doing when you're doing a curl or a press. You're contracting the muscle.
I want one now.
No,
we're not
Helen.
endorsing the product. We're merely
Helen.
just.
You see what you started, Max.
I know.
I don't like you getting technical, and I don't like you talking and doing the brands.
I didn't name them. I didn't. Okay. All right.
So what was the moral of that tale then? The
moral of that tale is that, you know, we're looking for comfortable things that we can do. No. This is the thing that we're doing right now, Lou, is the fact that we're finding ways to do comfortable exercise. And the way that we do comfortable exercise is by doing the things that we do every single day, but we take it for granted. But whereas if we just kind of think to ourselves, like, if we just think a little bit differently, like you walk to the bus, if you know you're going to miss the bus, you run for the bus.
I couldn't run.
My point being is the fact that, you know, if you take the things that you do every day, like going for a walk, but maybe a little jog, you know the little things that you can do, you know the little things that your body can tolerate. And that's where we're at, you know, just a little tiny increment. I hate jogging. Can't jog.
I don't know. Can you jog, Lou? Would you jog? I see running is a thing. I think it's for other people. And being this age now, I'm wondering if I could run.
I want to get to the stage where I, you know, in my dream, I would be running. And I know there's a fantastic app for that, which is Couch to 5K.
I've heard of that.
Yes.
What happens?
I think it's 9 weeks, and it literally is half an hour, 3 times a week, and it takes you through a series of intervals. So you might walk for 1 minute at a brisk pace, and then you might trot.
And you did that?
Yes, and you trot for 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And when they say trot, they say that imagine there's a hedge, and you can just about see your head. So it's our age, a little shuffle. It's not a run. And then they build it up. You'll walk for 3 minutes and jog for a minute. You know, it increases until you are literally running 5K.
Oh my goodness, I can't imagine.
But it is so easy. It's so gentle. You literally, like I say, walk for a minute, trot for 30 seconds.
This is it's good to be in your company. I've got to do something because currently with the work pressure, I'm literally, my back will go just because I'm not moving.
But Helen, remember it's called bite size and baby steps. So one of the things that I was sharing with Maxie is press ups, but standing press ups against the wall when I'm boiling the kettle.
Oh,
so when the kettle's boiling, rather than just stand around,
find a wall first.
Just go on the work surface,
find a wall,
and just do some press ups until the kettle boils. Something as small as that.
If I can throw my chips on the table as well, if that's is that all right? Look, use that same wall if you're looking to like work out your legs and your lower back area. Is if you go from standing to start to sit like a squat, and you let your back hold it. And then and then hold it for about 10 seconds, and then just slowly bring yourself back up, and then just
do it.
Yeah.
It's the doing of, isn't it? It's like the brain. So it's all about the brain has got to say, oh, do a thing, as opposed to just live in my head. I've got my tea, got to all that. So you have to go do a thing. So we have to do a thing.
You have to, but do a little thing so it's not a big deal, Helen. You're getting too much in your head.
I know.
While the kettle's boiling,
get a wall.
Get a wall. Find any wall.
Just do some little press ups against your work surface while the kettle's boiling.
Yeah. Oh, I must admit, like with my gym, I manage it like half an hour once a week, and I know that's not enough. But then I have a person there because I know that I couldn't do it on my own.
That's good.
And then we try and we talk to each other. That's okay for half an hour. I can just about manage that. But you do feel better coming out. So I do know there's evidence that going in a kind of sad mood, worry, coming out slightly less.
Fired up those endorphins in your brain.
It's extremely good for your mental health. I did some gym today and I had so much anxiety going to the gym. I was scared of the burn. I was like, I don't want to feel the burn. I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I don't want to get out of breath.
Yes.
I was panicking.
I understand that.
And then also just body image, like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. How can I go to the gym looking
Were
like...
you on your own? Did you manage to motivate yourself when you were in the gym, or did you have...
Once I sat down and I started doing something, and then you get in your head where you don't look around, you don't look at what other people are doing. And if it's a case of like, we've had one listener say that they were listening to the podcast while they were doing their workout. That's 20 minutes.
Because I'm quite old school and retro. I've got those piddly little things that have to join into my phone with a lot of wire. Whereas see, you've got some rather smart things. Do they just work without another?
Yeah. These are Bluetooth. These are Bluetooth.
Helen,
and
what are you talking about, Helen? Are you talking about a bloody Walkman or something? Nobody plugs in headphones.
Listen, the 80s was that good, okay? The 80s was great, all right? I'm not lying.
Slick. Look at Max's slick, just a standalone helmet thing, and they're not plugged into another item.
No.
Everything I have has to be plugged into another item.
Why?
Because I can't go modern. I've got to go modern. I've got to open my mind to have the slick things.
It will change your life. Noise cancelling headphones will change your life. All I can hear is you right now. I can't hear what's going on in my house. It could be burning down right now for all I know.
Please God, it isn't.
I think I just need to come to your house.
Yeah.
Upgrade her. Upgrade Helen.
Come to your house and drag you into the 21st century.
That's it. Hashtag upgrade Helen.
Yeah. Actually,
Helen 2.0. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Do you know that makes sense? Because if there's a thing that would take you to another place and it's that simple, the joy, I'd love to have noise cancelling things.
Oh, I want to come over and show you my virtual reality
exercising. No, Matt. Just get back in your box. No.
What's a virtual reality?
We'll get modern. We won't get technical. Do not start him off. Okay? Because you'll just go.
Okay. And how long have you both been doing this? And I know that I'm not asking for the moon because it's baby steps, but how long have you been improved with your baby steps experience awareness?
Start doing this. We started
January, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, we started talking about it in January, but we actually went live. I think I can actually
March, April, or something.
Yeah, it was around about 8. Yeah, it's around about.
And are you feeling it? Are you?
But Helen. So, listen. This is when we started, and this is the whole point.
Yeah.
To the damn thing. Yeah, we started in March or April with good intentions. He has managed to be focused and whatever, and he's lost over a stone.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
I have probably put on a stone, but
not that bad.
I'm sure you haven't.
I'm sure I have, because I didn't have this chin when we started. And this is an addition. Yeah, this is a new addition. But I live in hope.
Yep.
Because I am continuing with the bite size and baby steps. It's about setting goals that I personally feel that I can reach, because that momentum of yes, I'm going to do it only lasts so long.
I agree. Yeah.
The first distraction, the first upset, the first change in your schedule. If you're not constantly telling yourself, I can do this, I can do it, you just you think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And then
she doesn't ring me though, Helen. She doesn't call me and say, like, you know what, I'm struggling here. All I get text messages. Max, have you heard it? Have you listened to that? I'm like, how are you doing? Are you okay? Well, I don't get.
So So what is the ideal between the two of you, that you should ask for help, or
Normally, when we don't have a guest, we set a goal, I think a couple of episodes, to lose 2 kilos by the next episode.
oh,
And
exciting.
then each week we check in with each other. We have a
Yeah.
confessions of the week, whereas we confess our sins of what we've eaten that we shouldn't have eaten. And then we also have absolution of what we kind of did to try and balance that out.
Okay, oh, amazing. And
It's-
do you weigh yourself then? Do either of you actually do that with numbers?
After the whole 2 kilo challenge thing, I was like, right, okay, I've got to keep my eye on this. So I went to that place where you can get everything, that's run by a bald-headed fella. I can't name the name because she gets really. It's a place in Brazil. It's got a big rainforest, but they also sell stuff.
Just say you ordered it, Max.
I ordered it from Amazon.
were
Okay,
bloody
I ordered it
Oh,
from
okay,
Amazon.
I'm with
They'll
you.
order. Oh my God.
See, I'm very slow, as we've experienced.
So Luella set this task, like, we need to lose 2 kgs each, right? Okay. So not only did I lose it, I put it on and then some, and it's because of this flipping weighing scales from Amazon, because it does everything like body, BMI, and your pulse,
Oh,
and
wow.
your DNA, and I
Yeah.
found out my dad's a Labrador. This thing started to consume me, and I'm like, I'm gonna beat it. I am gonna beat it. And that's my mentality. I'm very task orientated.
Was it helpful?
You know,
I told you about the scales, didn't I? Because I use it to measure my water content.
Yep.
Because I don't drink a lot of water.
No.
So rather than get fixated by how much I weigh, because it tells you your BMI, it tells you your visceral
Oh,
fat,
I
it tells you
couldn't
all
do
those
it.
things.
yeah, all the nasty stuff.
Not get on that scale, Luella. I am amazed that you have the courage to face it. I am in denial, as a human being anyway. To actually step on a scale and then that thing give you info. I don't want the info.
When last did you step on a scale then?
Not in my own house, on my own volition. I might have been forced to in some kind of, I don't know, doctor's appointment, and then I wouldn't have looked. No, I'm really good at being in denial. Oh, that whole thought of seeing a thing. I'm obviously, look, I'm going like that. That's my idea of a scale, like pounds and ounces. So like where you weigh your flour and your eggs for a cake. So, but both of you can confront these numbers, which I find extraordinary.
But it has a different effect. It motivates him. I weighed myself a while ago and it thoroughly depressed me.
Well, that's it. I can't risk that.
But however, when I was about to do something, all I kept thinking of was that number that I couldn't unsee. So it kind of kept me in check. I was like, oh my, weigh this.
Yeah.
And that kind of stopped me from doing it. But I've also said to Max that I'm not going to weigh myself now until my thighs stop sticking together, because then I know something will have
it's a different measure. Well,
yeah.
I was going to say that, because you know, in your clothes, particularly my trunk is my thing. You know, it's such a shame about my trunk, because if I've got nice jackets with things, I can get away with a lot. But it's the trunk.
What's the trunk? Are you talking about from your
under the boobs? Yeah,
under the boobs down to the. So does that mean you don't have a waist, Helen?
Yes. No way.
No way. What did you have for breakfast?
Oh, what did I have for breakfast? Oh, pistachio cake.
What did you have for breakfast?
So, I went to do a selfie with a friend who was going to help me. Bought him a cake. So I had two. So we had a cake each, a sponge, small, lemon and pistachio cake.
I was going to say, how easy is it for you to keep on track with your food and your fitness? But we've established that that's non-existent.
What is your favorite meal, and do you have like a temptation?
My favorite meal would be a cheese sandwich, Maxie, with a nice onion chutney, with nice sort of soft sourdough bread. That's a snack, but I'd be happy with that. I like vegetable-y things and ricey things.
Okay. Do you have is there something that can kind of like really kind of like, you know, let's say you're doing really well, really well, really well. Oh yeah, I need me some of that.
Chocolate cake or a cheese sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Not good.
Do you use any apps And what apps would you use or do you use for health, fitness, or lifestyle?
Okay, I've got to learn through talking to you about the app world. I go onto YouTube mindfulness in the mornings when I need to calm my mind. So that will be a 10-minute meditation. So I'll do that, but I haven't understood how to do an app that makes me jump up and down.
We'll be inventing one at some point.
Good.
No worries.
I want you to.
Is there anything that's kind of that you're listening, reading? Is there anything that you're watching that kind of helps you just to kind of, you know, when life is really stressful, just helps you?
The right kind of mindfulness tape where the voice doesn't irritate me, allowing them in, and I'm taking instruction for them.
Like Gilbert Godfrey doing mindfulness. It's like, well, today.
Oh yes, no, I don't. Well, I'm not familiar with Gilbert, but I don't think I'd like him. I need a nice, non-annoying voice that makes me feel normal. You know, like it'll all be fine.
What do you do? What do you do for self-care?
Bath with oil, and you can get those little samples, aromatherapy type things, and you just go, oh, what oil will I put in my bath tonight? So I do like a bath with an oil.
Yep, I was on 4 baths a day when I was writing my dissertation.
Oh my Lord, I wonder what you're doing the rest of the time. But well, writing a dissertation, clearly. Wow.
Must have looked like a little wrinkled pork sausage.
Yeah, it was. I look like a newborn mole.
Ooh, or like a cat without any hair.
So what would Helen today, what advice would you give young Helen from back in the day?
I tell young Helen not to worry as much, that that other people are experiencing similar feelings, so it isn't unique to her, and to try and connect with others and do some stuff together, you know.
What makes you laugh, Helen?
You, Luella. You
Are
do
you
make me laugh. You do
Oh.
make me laugh. Absurdity, people falling over and pretending they haven't is my big one.
What's
What
the
will
best
happen?
bit of advice, health or lifestyle or inspiration that you've been given?
I obviously I haven't retained any. To believe that you can do something. I think it's all in the mind, isn't it? You can believe it, and then you can make your body do something. It might not be leaping over fences, but well, in fact, it won't be. But you know, you can do something.
Quick fire questions. So it's either or, yeah? So
Yeah.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Fame or fortune?
Ugh. Neither.
Oh, okay. Caffeine or herbal?
Caffeine.
Insta or TikTok?
I'm learning both. Insta probably.
Comedy or thriller?
Comedy.
Sweets or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Foreplay or intercourse?
Foreplay.
Yoga or Pilates?
Pilates.
Meat or veg?
Veg.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Yeah, and what's next for Helen? I think we'll just...
Oh, I thought you were going to come back with my personality type, like an
Oh, no, you're awesome. You're just awesome.
Like a cosmopolitan questionnaire.
And you, Helen, are a mindful mix of somebody who can jump fences. Anyway, so what is next for me is to carry on telling people about Not That I'm Bitter, to write something really funny, to work with you. You're doing rather well at the moment. To keep going, just to keep going, whatever it is, big or small, to try and be interested and be useful in some way, you know, just to keep going. It doesn't have to be the fame or fortune thing. I think just to be engaged and to be engaged with other people is probably my thing, realistically.
2 things. 1, can you tell us where we can get your book? And 2, can you tell us a bit about Quip?
So you can get my book quite easily. You can get it in Sainsbury's, or ask them to go and get one. Amazon. So it is possible. You just have to hunt for it, but it is out there because I've got a lot of merchandise to shift. Trust me. And then Comedy Women in Print Prize, of which you know about, Lou, is if it's going again in 2025. So it is to celebrate witty women writers. So if anybody is a witty writer, woman, person, who has a novel that hasn't been published, enter, and the winner gets published. and we do big parties. And Comedy Women in Print is about empowering women to be witty and heard and visible.
And where can they find information on how to enter that?
They put those words into that computer. I call it a computer. I'm sure there's a more modern word, an app. Comedy Women in Print, and up it will come, and then you press the thing, and then you're in, and then it all happens, and it's all taken care of, and then everything is beautiful.
Oh, anything else from you, Max?
Yeah, I've got one question to ask. So are you planning an audiobook version of your book?
Ah, good question. Yeah, I've done it. I've written it. I've read it out loud.
Okay.
It took about 3 days. So you can get it on audio if you prefer to listen to it.
Oh,
Might
I've got
be easier.
audio then, Helen. I can listen to it.
Yeah.
I'll use my next month's credit.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay. I won't feel guilty about that. But you'll hear my lovely voice for days. But actually, I've heard that because of the comedy and stuff in it, it's quite good to hear the author read it, because and you will understand the nuance and stuff. So
I really prefer it when the author actually reads their book, because I mean, don't get it twisted. I mean, you know, like Val, for example, you know, he can't speak, obviously, so you know, Val Kilmer's autobiography.
Okay.
So he had to get an actor in, but
What's
it sounds like him.
Can he not speak anymore?
No, he had throat cancer.
Oh,
and yeah.
Well, that's an extreme example and well shared. You'll find that I've narrated my own, and I urge you to listen to it, because I know you'll laugh. I know, and especially with the health chapters.
Yes, I definitely will. I'm looking forward to that. So that will be your book called I'm Not Bitter.
Not that I'm bitter.
Oh,
it's a bit of an irony, because obviously I am slightly bitter, but you know, like we all say, we're all in denial. So not that I'm bitter, but, and then spill some beans. Yeah.
Nice.
Wonderful. Helen, it's been amazing.
I loved it. I feel better. I'm going to do bite-sized, baby steppy, bee thing words, and walk for 20 minutes. You're coming round to kick me out in new streamlined equipment that doesn't have a wire attached.
Yeah,
so the sky's the limit. The sky.
Yeah.
I'm walking.
I'll get Lou to pass on my details as well. So, you know, if you're feeling stuck or anything, just pick up the phone. And,
don't get jealous, Lou.
Yeah, don't get jealous, Lou.
I will do.
I know.
Yeah, because you don't talk to me, Lou. That's what it is.
Listen, I do talk to you.
I picked up on this. You need a relationship coach. Maybe that's what
me.
The two of you. So
no, I need a man. That's what I need. But there
I
you
can
go.
offer my services.
I'm all man, lady. How dare you?
But you're married, so shut up.
Oh, I see. Yes. No. Well. Anyway, it seems you're doing something really good, and if you had Colin Jackson on. He does leaping over fences, doesn't he, Colin?
He does leap over fences.
So
lots of them.
It's called hurdling, Helen.
Oh, hurdling. But I've channeled him. I channeled Colin while I was talking to you, because I've said over fences 3 times now. So, well, I better tune into your podcast, and I hope that I haven't bored the 20-minute person who's walking around the park listening to us. This way you say, no, Helen, you haven't bored.
No, Helen, you've been great. Trust me, you've been great.
I love it. Yeah, so thank you for having me.
Well, you know what to do. We're on Audible. We're on no, we're on. No, we're not on Audible. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes,
YouTube,
and on YouTube. So you know what to do yourself.
Okay, no, I'm going to do it. I like it. I like your ethos. I like it.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe, and we'll be with you all the way. And if you want to email us, or if anybody wants to email us with questions or comments or tips, what do they do, Max?
They hit us up at bitesizeandbabysteps@gmail.com.
Okay. Well, that's quite easy to remember. Even I might manage that.